Hello, and we welcome you into another edition of Highlights from the Heart of Our Community. My name is Jim Strawn, host of the television program. Highlights from the Heart of Our Community is brought to you through a collaboration between Jim Strawn and Company, Kanawha County Schools TV, and Optimum Cable Services. And if you're a regular viewer of this show, and we certainly hope that you are, you know how much you love to focus on those grassroots organizations, those not-for-profit or charitable groups doing outstanding work, phenomenal work to make our great state of West Virginia and our Kanawha Valley and our city of Charleston a much better place to live, learn, work, and to play. And on today's Highlights program, we're going to feature, I guess it's a grassroots event that happens every Friday in the summer in Charleston, West Virginia. We're going to talk with some organizers. We're going to talk with some beneficiaries. We're going to talk with some food vendors and drink vendors. And we're going to be talking to these folks about the importance of and how much fun it is and why it's just become so popular. Of course, we're talking about the Moses Auto Group Live on the Levee that has been happening since Memorial Day weekend, and it'll happen all the way through Friday evening, August the 18th this year. It's just been, no pun intended, a boatload of fun. We have more fun coming to you to help us talk about this and all things live on the levee. We've assembled 4 groups, 2 at a time. We're going to be talking with Miranda. She's with the city of Charleston. We're going to be talking with Jennifer. She's with one of our charities that benefits every Friday night with the 50-50 drawing. We have a drink vendor here. We have a food vendor here. And we'll be talking with Butch and Ashley after I get done talking with Miranda and Jennifer. So lots of great insight coming your way. Lots of really good information. And I dress casual. This is how I dress every Friday night when I'm down at Haddad Riverfront Park on the Show and Bomb stage for Live on the Levee. I love it. We know that you love it. If you don't know it, if you don't love it, you don't know about it, now you're going to know about it. I welcome into the program for the very first time my good friend Miranda Dillon. Miranda, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm well. How are you? Look at you.
Thank you.
You were so
Thank
poised.
you.
You were so poised. I'm well. How are you? You were ready for that line, weren't you?
I
You
mean,
look,
I was trying.
you look so
Was trying to
you
be.
look great. Now
Thank you.
you have a long title, but basically you handle logistics. You're the logistics specialist for the city of Charleston,
Yes.
community services, and do things in the community.
Mhm.
And you brought along Jennifer Fleshman. Jennifer's with us. Jennifer, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having us.
Yes, welcome back. You've been on the show before.
Yes, I have.
You are the program director with the YWCA Sojourner Shelter, and that's one of our 5 charities that we have every Friday night. We're going to talk more with you and what that means with our 50-50 drawing and the charities. Miranda, you got your feet wet last year with this. This is your 2nd year working with Live on the Levee, correct?
Third.
This is your 3rd year?
Yes, my 3rd. Yes.
Wow, I missed that one. How'd I do that? This is your
we had
3rd.
a lot going on. Yes.
You have a lot going on. Before we talk more about maybe the city and your role with the Live on Levee, talk to the audience a little bit about, give us a little background of who you are, where you went to high school, kind of piecemeal your journey together to get where you are today.
So I'm from St. Albans.
Yay, Red Dragons.
That's right.
Yes.
I graduated from there and I went to West Virginia State University and I have a criminal justice degree. So I worked a lot with law enforcement and then I worked for magistrate court. And with elections, I ended up over at the city of Charleston. My judge was not reelected, so I found myself working for the city manager. And with some turnaround and with Renee Jones and her retirement, we love her.
Yes, we do.
They asked me to step in and help. So
that was 3 years ago?
That was 3 years ago. And
right as COVID was ending or in it, or how did that?
That was the 2nd year back,
Okay.
I think. They had it in 2019. 2020, they didn't.
So Live on the Levee you're talking about. So this is really the 20th anniversary, but the 19th season.
Correct.
Because we missed all of 2020. So we did it in 21. We did it, this is 23. We did it in 22.
Yes.
So this is your 3rd year to work on it.
And this is my first time having it from the absolute beginning.
Okay, that's right. Because I thought it was your 2nd.
Yep.
But maybe that's why
I stepped in for 2 years. Yes.
Yeah. You were an understudy, or you learned along the way for a couple of years. Now it's your baby, right? Kind of. But there's a lot of collaboration.
There's a big team that helps.
Obviously the mayor works with you. Obviously Ben works with you. Obviously Ray works with you. Obviously Jenna works with you. Obviously Matt Sutton works. I mean, you work with everybody that works at City Hall basically on this.
And the queen herself, Jane.
And Jane. I said, I got Jane Botches,
oh yes,
of course.
The queen herself.
So there's lots of collaboration within the city, but it's really kind of your main responsibility. One of them. There's some other things that you do, not just Live on Levee.
Yes.
I mean, we have. I'll let you go. What else do we have?
I
The
help
regatta's coming up.
regatta. Yes, I mean it's here.
Yeah.
It's here. I help a lot with the behind the scenes of the bigger events, Rib
Mhm.
Fest that we've had,
Mhm.
the Harley event last year.
Mhm.
We have our Pride events,
Mhm.
and it's a lot of logistical planning to make sure that all the different groups within the city of Charleston that
Mhm.
need to help, refuse, streets, engineering, things like that, are all coming together to make
Mhm.
sure that the vendors and the people putting on the events have what they need.
We're talking with Miranda Dillon. She's our logistics specialist, helps with community services for the city of Charleston. How much do you love your job?
I love it.
I love your answer. You do love it. You
I,
light
I
up
d-
every time.
I do. I did something that I always wanted to be a wedding planner when I was
Oh,
younger,
nice.
and then I did criminal justice. So I mean,
Yeah,
two totally
yeah,
different
yeah.
things.
I'm a school
And-
teacher, by the way. Things evolve.
right,
Things
right.
evolve.
But I got the opportunity to help the first year, and then the second
Mhm.
year was a lot of fun. And then when this came open, I had to take my shot. I mean, and it was just one of those. I put it out there, and the mayor and Matt took a chance on me.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful.
We say that Live on the Levee, from the get-go, the father of Live on the Levee was the president of City Council at the time, Tom Lane. I always like to give him props and lift him up. He was great idea. And he went to the city manager at the time, David Mogard, back in 2002-ish, I believe, and said, "Hey, I got this idea. Let's keep people in town and let's have a little music down on the river." There was no Haddad Riverfront Park. There
Mhm.
was no stage. But talk about vision. Like, they had vision. And I remember that they did it the first year, and it was about 6 weeks, and they would have a pickup truck go down that ramp and pull a hay trailer, and 3 or 4 guys would get on the hay trailer, musicians, and play for about 25 or 30 people. The first year was 6 weeks.
That's
You had no idea.
amazing. No, I
So we had a
didn't.
very humble beginning.
Mhm.
We had a very humble beginning. Tom and David, worked on that for a couple years, and then Tom asked me if I would like to step in and serve as the master of ceremonies, and that's been really a wonderful role for me. I love it as much as you love your job.
We enjoy having you.
I love I love my little role there down at Haddad Riverfront Park, and that Schoenbaum stage, named after Betty Schoenbaum. Love her heart, rest her soul. And donated some money for the
Mhm.
city, and it's Haddad Riverfront Park because of the Haddad family donated some money to the city as well. But putting the schedule together, we'll put the schedule up. We started on May the 26th, so now we can talk about how much fun we're having. Usually I do the show before we start Live on Levee. Now we're kind of halfway through the season, or a third of the way through the season. We got three Fridays under our belt as we tape the show. By the time it's viewed, we're going to have 4 weeks under our belt. Talk about grinding the sausage and how much work and how many variables went into the schedule. And then after we talk about the schedule, one of Tom Lane's thing was, we're going to have great fun for a great cause.
Yes.
And that's how the charities got involved. So Jennifer, I'll be right back over to you. But let's talk, Miranda, about how we got the schedule for 2023.
So we have an application process that we go through, and it's
Well,
put
you don't
out.
have to tell people how many applications you get.
I had 290-ish.
Listen to that, folks.
This
A
year.
lot of people want to play on Live on the Levee. We know you want to play. Please bear with us. There's a lot of people that
Yes.
want to play. We only have room for so many. So you got close to 250, 300 applications.
Yes.
So you get those in. There's a
Mhm.
certain timeline they got to get them in, and then what happens from there?
So then we have a group that sits down. It's just a board that reviews every single entry,
Mhm.
application, however, um, we all listen to all of them, and then
Mhm.
we come back and we meet and we try to see what fits with what weekend. Do we have events coming up?
Mhm.
Do we have certain things that are going on throughout the week that we want to coincide with?
Mhm.
Or we check to make sure that the surrounding businesses don't have the same type of music, or if there's other
Mhm.
festivals, we don't want to compete with the genre of music that they have.
So many variables.
A
So
lot,
many.
a lot more than
What
what
people
I was
think.
aware.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
even myself.
Yeah.
And then we come up with the list, and
Mhm.
it just depends on how long of a season, and it's a shorter season this year.
Mhm.
We have we have regatta that takes up, and then we have other festivals,
Mhm.
and we just wanted to give the best that we have in a condensed version
Mhm.
to make sure everyone has the best time. And then after we select the music, we have our vendors
Mm-hmm.
and we put an application out for them.
Mm-hmm.
And this year we have 30 vendors,
Mm-hmm.
that's without our sponsors
Mm-hmm.
and our nonprofits. And they, that's the most vendors we've had in years. And then talking to you, our opening night was one of the biggest.
Opening night on May the 26th, as we kind of launched the unofficial weekend for the summer, Memorial Day weekend. May 26th, we started with the Chase, a great group, good friends of mine out of the Ashland, Huntington area, Ashland, Kentucky. And then we had Hair Supply, one of the mayor's favorites from last year, Regatta. She said we got to get them back, so they kind of headlined for the opening night of Live on the Levee this year. It was one of those epic nights. We had close to 10,000 people down there. Food vendors were happy. The drink vendors were happy. The patrons who came down were happy. The musicians were happy. We had 148 boats that I could visibly see on the river. They were happy. And then we had the charity was happy as well. So again, I'm gonna get to Jennifer. Live on Levee is great fun for a great cause, and the cause is these 5 inner city charities that help people within the city of Charleston who maybe need a bite to eat and a place to stay. So we help people that are hungry and don't have a place to stay. So Jennifer, you're with the YWCA Sojourner Shelter, but we also help the Covenant House and RCCR. Instead of Rourke Sullivan this year, KVC, the Canal Valley Collective, is doing that, and Mandermill. That's the 5th. I didn't want to leave them out. So you're fairly new. This is your 2nd year, I believe, as program director with the Sojourner Shelter.
Yes, it is.
First, I'm going to ask you to give the audience a little overview of the shelter, and then what this 50-50 means to your charity and all the charities combined.
Well, the shelter, it's a 75-bed shelter. We serve women with or without children, intact families, and single men if they have custody of their children.
Right.
So we provide everything from the moment they come in the door, their toiletries, clothing vouchers if they don't have any. We have the Margaret Taylor Job and Education Readiness Center.
And she was, I'm jumping in, she was in your role for about how many years?
37.
So she's been doing it for the last 37 years.
Yes.
She just retired. You're the new Jennifer, but you're really Margaret. You took Margaret's position.
Yes, I did.
And we just named it that recently with a ceremony. She deserves everything she ever gets.
Yes, she absolutely does.
Yeah.
She hired me as her assistant
Oh,
director,
nice. Yeah.
and I got the unique privilege of working under her for several years, and I was very sad to see her go.
It's been very seamless with Margaret and you because you knew the program so well and you worked with her, and she taught you the best way, the best practices.
Yes.
And it's such a wonderful organization for us to have in the city of Charleston. So I know funding is always difficult for all these charities, and I know funding is difficult when we're trying to feed people and give them a bed to sleep in one place or get out of the elements for the night. So talk about what this 50-50 means, and what the city gives you an opportunity to do this. I know it may not be a lot of money, but it really is a lot of money to you and what it means for your clients.
It is. It's a ton of money for us. Every dollar counts. We will make every penny stretch as much as we can. But the 50-50 means a lot to us because it's unrestricted dollars.
I wanted you to say that.
Yes, what we can bring in, we can use that money for anything. So if somebody comes in, a child comes in without a coat, if somebody needs some non-slip shoes for their job, we can do anything that we find needy, or we find.
Yeah, some lady might need a professional dress to go on a job interview that you're trying to help them with.
Yes, absolutely.
Stuff like that.
And we have the past and present store, so we do make referrals, but they don't always have everything. So
yeah, we're talking with Jennifer Fleshman now. Jennifer's our program director with the YWCA Sojourner Shelter, one of the 5 charities that we help each and every Friday night through the summer down at the Moses Auto Group Live on the Levee. We're about 4 weeks in. We're going to go all the way through August 18th. We flashed the schedule up a couple of times. We're also talking with Miranda Dillon. She's our logistics specialist for community services in the city of Charleston. It's been really good thus far, Miranda. What do you think is making it so good? And I'll tell you why. I don't know what it is, but it's just been working out very well. What do you think the secret sauce is this year?
I think people are just ready to be together. And I think that the city of Charleston came alive last year, and there were so many things going on, so many events. There was a lot of people that showed up for events that normally wouldn't be at certain places. And then we had Regatta. Regatta showed everybody that it's okay to be together again, and that it just, I think Charleston really just came alive last year,
Mhm.
and I think people are looking forward to this year and this season, and we just want to make sure that we provide them with a good time.
With great things to do, we offer so much. Recently, the World Health Organization kind of lifted the crisis. COVID's still there. It's like any other virus. It's like catching the cold. It's going to
Mhm.
be around, but it seems like we've got a pretty good handle
Mhm.
on it. It's not a crisis. It's not an epidemic or a pandemic. It's not any of that. So I think you're right. People feel more relaxed about. I mean, my mom is 85. She hasn't missed one yet. The past couple years, she wouldn't come down because of she had COVID and
Mhm.
pneumonia at the same time.
Mhm.
She's like, I'm not going to risk it, Jimmy. But another reason she's coming down is here's another element. We've been very fortunate. All the weathermen in Charleston have been doing a great job. My mom said, Jimmy, it's not too hot. We've had picture perfect
We've
weather.
had the perfect storm.
Yeah, like it's like
Yes, music, weather,
74-ish,
food.
74, low humidity, nice breeze off the Majestic
Mhm.
Canal. The Majestic Mountains come alive with free complimentary music for you to come down. The food, as you mentioned earlier, we've got 30-some vendors. They're so tasty. It's so much variety. We have the spirited beverages. We have the beverages for the whole family, the children. We just have the right vendors. We have just the best music. They're very entertaining.
Mhm.
So I think I have one of the best jobs in the summer. I actually, Miranda, you've stood on the stage, but I'm on that stage a lot. And one of the things that I do is I look up and I look for someone not having a good time. I've been doing that for 17 years. I haven't found that person yet. If you're having a tough day or a tough week or a tough month, and you come down to the Moses Auto Group Live on the Levee and you grab a hot dog and a pop, and you're with your neighbors, you're smiling.
Mhm.
You just are going to smile,
Yes.
and I love that the most. Jennifer, you guys had we share the charity nights, but you guys have already had one this year.
Yes, we
So
have.
you saw all those smiles.
Yes.
We raised about $1,000 or more, $1,100.
Yes, we
And
did.
how we do that, we sell 50/50
Mhm.
chances, and then the city of Charleston takes that half of that and then divvies it up at the end of the summer to those 5 charities.
Correct.
Did you see all those smiles? Did you have a good time
I
doing that?
did. I tell you, I went to the very first night, opening night, and
And that
it
was
was
Man Meal
it,
night.
it was it was Man Mills night, and it was
I want
so
to stop you right
great.
there. And folks, just so you know, it's a good, healthy competition. But I think these charities kind of say, "What's the record? What'd you do last week? We're going to try to beat." And that's what's fun about that. But it all goes for the same cause,
Well, it
helping
does, but
people.
let me interrupt you for just 1 second and let you know that Sojourners did raise more than Man a
Yeah,
Meal.
yeah. I know. Yeah, see that?
Not that we're
I
tracking
said it was
this.
a healthy competition. But yeah, Amanda Mill had a really good night, and you said, I think we can do
Yes,
better than that.
yes.
Yeah. So it was. You saw the smiles that I see.
Absolutely. It's a great time, and the kids get to come up and pick the
Mhm.
winning ticket, so
Yeah.
there's no cheating
Yeah, oh,
whatsoever.
absolutely.
And
I
you
make sure of
throw
that, don't
it.
I?
That's right, you sure do.
I
And
love that.
it's just a great time, and none of the tickets cost much. You can buy one for $1.
Yeah.
You get a whole reel of them for $20. So it's a good time, and it goes to a great charity. So
I've mentioned plenty of times that our title sponsor, we call this is the 15th year for Moses Auto Group to step up.
Mhm.
So they're the title sponsor. So we call it the Moses Auto Group Live on Levee, but it takes such a business village. And I've mentioned plenty of times that this is free and complimentary for folks to come down. So I want to thank people that help make it possible, not just Moses Auto Group, but thank you to Brewer and Company. They've been with us from the get-go. Thank you to Mike and his dad, Lou Wendell Marine, the health plan. They're out of Wheeling, but they have they serve all 55 counties, so we appreciate them very much. Special thanks to Bridge Valley Community and Technical College, along with the University of Charleston, City National Bank, Howland Hospital, a hospital very near and dear to me, first-time sponsor. So thank you to Brad and the folks at Howland Hospital. Thank you to Mountain State Beverage, along with the Mountain State Oral and Facial Surgery. They had a very special night a few weeks ago. We just had them this week. Northwestern Mutual was our sponsor for the evening. They're a sponsor throughout the year. Spriggs Distributing, Pterodon Corporation, been with us very long time, if not right at the beginning, very shortly thereafter. But thank you to Art and Virginia King, the Beverage Market. Thank you to Festival Charleston. Speaking of collaborations, one of our collaborations, we also collaborate with Multifest. We also collaborate with the Sternwill Regatta Commission. So you see, there's lots of things happening throughout the summer down at Haddad Riverfront Park and live on the levee with a lot of collaboration. Festival is one of them. Thank you to Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Thank you to WTSQ, our not-for-profit radio station in Charleston, the law firm of Bowles Rice. That is where Tom Lane is a practicing attorney and the father of Live on the Levee. This one's near and dear to me, the Center for Organ Recovery, CORE, and they partner with CAMC. They'll have a special night this year. My good friend Scott Garrettson with Garrettson Insurance, Goodwin Law. That's Booth Goodwin and his colleagues there at Goodwin Law. First-time sponsors. Thank you, Booth. Thank you to Serve Pro, Tim McDaniel. Thank you to Solar Holler, first-time sponsor this year. Our good friend Keith Collins and Dina from Solar Holler, the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation, and ZMM Architects, and of course, my company, Jim Strawn and Company. So proud to support Live on the Levee. We got about a minute left in this segment, Miranda and Jennifer. I'll let you give our audience a parting shot, and then we're going to say goodbye to you. We're going to talk with Butch and Ashley. But what do you want the audience to know? Maybe something I haven't asked you already, or if they've not been down, why the heck not? And why should people come down to Haddad Riverfront Park on Friday nights?
It's an amazing time. And the one thing that I have noticed is there's a lot of families down there. A lot of families with teenagers to younger kids. And
it's very family oriented.
Very family oriented this year.
And I haven't said this. We start at 6:30. We're done at 9:30.
Correct. Yes.
Pretty much on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't have to leave Haddad Riverfront Park, but we're done.
Right.
But we're
right.
done.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's very family oriented.
We have vendors that cater to certain specialties and some that have a wide gamut of food or drinks, but there's anything from snow cones to our lemonade to our lovely ribs, yes.
And we have some ethnic foods down there.
Mm-hmm.
We have
sure
from
do.
different countries, and I mean, I walk around. I don't get a chance to eat much of it, but there's something for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Miranda. Jennifer, how about a parting shot from you about the levee?
It's just a great time. It really is. You get complimentary music. There's all kinds of food and beverages. There's adult beverages. It's very family oriented, and it's just a really great time.
It's a great time for a great cause, and we help your cause.
Yes, absolutely, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, and 4 others along with that. Well, I'll tell you what, as promised at the top of the show, I'm going to be joined in just a moment with Butch Hill, and Ashley Wright. Butch is with Just Drinks. He's got the best lemonade in town, in my opinion. Don't shoot the messenger. I just think it's the best lemonade in town, and the best ribs in town are them 2 brothers. Don't shoot the messenger. I just think they're the best ribs in town. And we're going to be talking with Ashley, and she's with them 2 brothers. Of course, they're just 2 of the many vendors that Miranda talked about, but that just gives us, they'll give us a little flavor, no pun intended, about what happens down there on the boulevard on Friday nights. And when I'm joined back in just a moment, I'll be with Butch and Ashley, and I shall return. Thank you. And just like that, I am back. What a great conversation with Miranda and Jennifer. Now, as promised at the top of this show, I'm now joined by my good friend Butch Hill. Butch, how are you?
Terrific.
You look good.
Thank you.
Man,
I take that as a compliment.
You're a handsome man, aren't you? You're a tall drink of water.
For my age,
is that how you got your name, Just Drinks, because you're a tall drink of water?
Just Drinks.
Just Drinks.
Yes.
All right. And my girl, Ashley Wright, is here.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Ashley.
How's it going?
How are you?
Good. I'm awesome.
You work with them 2 brothers.
Yes.
You work with
Is your
daddy still working a little bit?
He is still working. He thinks I try to retire him, but he's still in it.
He still works, or does he think he works?
I think he just thinks he
works. I think he thinks he works. So you're with them 2 brothers, and Butch, you're with Just Drinks.
Just Drinks.
And you're with Just Drinks, and you serve lemonade and some other drinks, I believe, right?
Yes. Yes.
And of course, you have other things besides the ribs, but you're known for your ribs, right?
Yes, we are known for our ribs.
You guys are both down there at the Moses Auto Group Live on Levee. You have been for a few years. Butch, talk about how much fun you have in the summer, how important it is for your small business that you have, and why you get involved with this.
I tell you, that's a great question. Initially, in the fall and winter, we do the infrastructure work. Mm-hmm. Looking forward to the summer, and I tell you, Mayor Goodwin, Jane, Miranda, they've been complimentary. They really have been complimentary to what we do there. We only serve drinks. We leave the food up to vendors such as
Thus, your just drinks.
Yes.
Your just drinks.
Fresh squeezed lemonade.
It's really good too.
Sometimes bottled water
Okay.
if need be. And toward July 4th, we sneak in a little Italian ice.
Yeah, that's what I knew. You had something else besides the lemonade. The Italian ice is what it is.
It's a water-based product.
Very, very good.
Very tasty.
I've had it. You've given me a couple samples before, so
over the years I have.
Tastes good.
Thank you.
You know what else tastes good? Them two brothers.
Yes.
Your daddy was on the show years ago, by the way.
Was he?
Yeah,
I'm sure.
We were doing something for food, maybe the rib fest. We had him on. We had him on with these ribs.
Okay.
We had him on. He was cooking. We were having a good time. But them two brothers on the west side, the best side of Charleston. Give us your address and talk about your involvement with Live on Levee, Ashley.
Yes, we are currently located at 423 Virginia Street on Charleston's west side, right there on Five Corners.
The Five Corners area, right?
Yes, we're actually opening a new spot downtown, so we're happy to be transferring the barbecue and all the good smells downtown.
We have an anticipated.
I do not have a date. I was hoping I'd come and have a date for you guys, but I don't have
I'll let the audience know when you let me know. Okay?
Yes. You'll be one of the first to know.
The involvement with Live on Levee, how's that working?
We love Live on the Levee.
Yeah.
I always tell people summer is our season, and I know when summer's kicking off when we have that first Memorial Day weekend for Live on the Levee. So super excited.
We talked about that opening weekend with Jennifer and Miranda, and the Chase was there and Hair Supply and 10,000 of our friends. Did you guys do okay? Were you busy?
Awesome.
Do you have enough food? How'd that work out?
We were busy, as expected. We always have a line. Yeah. We always have a line, and we were super busy. We ended up selling out that night. Wow. So
let me ask you this, and I heard that from other food vendors. Is that a good thing, or a bad thing, or a thing that you just deal with? It's okay because you want to plan. Right. You don't want to have too much left over, but you wish you could feed other people. How did you feel when you ran out? Happy? Sad?
I'm always happy to sell out just because you can take it back and sell it, but it's better to do it with a captive audience. You have an audience there, you want to be able to sell out. I think it's a good thing to sell out because it just shows how many people actually were there. We literally had a line until probably like 8:45. And I sold my last rib and I was like, oh, we're done. We're done.
Butch, same goes for you. Do you ever have an opportunity? Do you ever run out, or what do you do when you run out, or do you run out?
I, in fact, ran out the first night also.
Did you as well?
Yes. Yeah. And what I focus on after running out is the feedback from the consumer, the customer, the guest that came to our stand. And with the understanding that how can I avoid that the very next time. So to answer you directly, it was a pleasant experience to have.
We have about 2 minutes left in our segment, and I'm talking with Butch Hill and Ashley Wright. They both are vendors at the Moses Auto Group Live on Levee. Thus far, we've had 3, maybe 4 weeks as this show is running. We might keep this show running for a few weeks. So we're kind of halfway through the season here. We're going to put that up one more time. Don't have a lot of time to take a look at that, but we still have Fleetwood Mac coming, obviously a tribute to Fleetwood Mac. We have some really interesting, talented artists coming. You can see there. We're going to end up a little earlier this year, folks. I want you to know August the 18th instead of Labor Day weekend. But that's going to be our back-to-school night. We're going to celebrate the kiddos, and Shalem is our artist there. I'm probably not going to get a chance, Butch, to get a parting shot because we're running out of time. I just want to thank you for what you do. Thank you for the Just Drinks. Come and visit Just Drinks, and come and visit Ashley and her crew with them two brothers down at Live on Levee. Thanks for being on our show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
If you want to get the rest of the schedule, you want to see who our charities are, you want to see who our food vendors are, you can simply go to liveontheleveecharleston.com. It's on the screen, liveontheleveecharleston.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, learn about all the weekly schedules, who we're promoting, what's going on, who's going to be there, and just stay in touch with the city. Go to Facebook and go to liveontheleveecharleston.com. All the time we have on this edition of Highlights, as always brought to you by my company, Jim Strawn and Company, Optimum Cable Services, and Kanawha County Schools TV. We'll see you on Friday nights, and we'll see you next time right here on Highlights. Take care now.